What can you do to help our forests for life and the water we drink? Really, it's just a matter of awareness and perhaps changing your habits or behavior a touch. For now, Hawaii's freshwater supplies are secure, but it may not always be that way. We often have droughts which can seriously tax how much water is available. Beyond not wasting water today or tomorrow, it's about remembering that what we do on land affects the ocean. What we do up high in the mountains, across our agricultural plains, and even in our own backyards, impacts everything down below.
You guys ready to go over a couple plants? Maybe a little safety briefing?
This is something more and more people are learning and embracing.
Which makes it really easy to identify, but it also has a lot of these like really nasty little pokies on here. So I'm gonna pass this one around. We are located right now in the Pahole Natural Area Reserve at a site we like to call the Makua Rim, or the Overlook site. And so today we have a group of volunteers helping us weed out one of our restoration sites. If you look around, we've got lots of native and non-native plants, and so they are an essential part of our workforce in trying to maintain watershed quality as well as maintain biodiversity of our native forests.
Almost every single day, you can find staff and volunteers out working in the forest. They spray weeds and yank invasive plants out of the ground. They plant native ones. They learn the ways of the woods.
Volunteers are really crucial for our program. We have so much areas and we have a limited amount of staff being the state. And so as we start to grow and as we start to really get into our priority areas and even areas around that, we find it really useful to have all this volunteer labor.
Their motivations for helping native forests recover and thrive vary. Some folks hike or hunt and want to be sure they can continue having fun in Hawaii's unique and beautiful native forests. Sometimes people volunteer for a day or two. Others sign up for 5 or 6 or 7 days, working in remote places. Many others make volunteering in the forest a constant in their lives. They all get something different from the experience.
Oh my gosh, your body calms down, you become peaceful, you become happy. I like to do it because it's beautiful. The Hawaiian forest is beautiful.
Beyond individual volunteers, there are countless community groups and companies, like Coca-Cola, that donate time, money, and labor to give native forests a helping hand. In one of Oahu's most important and productive watersheds, Coca-Cola helps build fences.
Fencing projects that the state undertakes are usually pretty expensive, so we rely on partners. That includes state money from the state legislature. We have some Board of Water Supply money dedicated to this project, as well as funding from Coca-Cola Company. That being said, we still have quite a bit more that we need to raise in order to complete the fence.
Even the Army gets into the act.
The funds are very limited, and so they provided about $200,000 worth of airlift capacity, and so it really makes our dollars stretch a lot further when we're able to partner with them.
They're saving us a significant amount of money by doing this as a training opportunity for the National Guard, so it's a win-win for both sides.
One of the best places to see this spirit of cooperation for the good of a native forest is on the steep and sweeping leeward slopes of Mount Haleakala on Maui. For many decades, goats and cows did their best to level everything. Cooperation between the state, the Maui Forest Bird Recovery Project, and volunteers are making a real difference.
All right, 90.
Okay. So that's 290.
Oh, here?
While the work here is already paying dividends by reducing erosion and runoff, and by reintroducing native trees like koa and ohia, it has a very specific purpose.
We are trying to reestablish enough forest to bring the native forest birds back to this spot. So the success of this site has actually really blown us away. The fence went up and the ungulates were out of here in Around 2012, the final animal's out, and at that time we started experimental plantings as well as monitoring natural regeneration that was going on in here. And the survival rates of the outplantings in this area surpassed any of our expectations. We've also found techniques to be able to enhance natural regeneration, and the forest is coming back a lot faster than we anticipated.
More than 250,000 native trees are now in the ground here, planted by staff and many, many volunteers. Soon, it's hoped this forest will once again be full of the songs of native birds, which will be music to the ears of the many, many people who've helped it along.
This is something that I always tell our crew and people who come up here, and whether they're volunteering or they're getting paid to come up here as our employees. But I tell people, I said, you know, although you're getting paid to do your job, I said it takes a different person that's got to love what they do to come up here and, you know, high winds, lots of rain, but they do it, and this is the product, you know, fruits of their labor, and I'm really happy to see this today.